Welcome into another edition of Road to the Draft. Casey Phillips here with senior writer and editor Scott Smith, and we have a cool one to talk to you about today because last time we did a whole lot of defense, which is understandable. It's what a lot of people are mocking us. Makes sense. But there was a little nugget at the Combine, which is what we always love about the Combine. You get to hear from coaches, GMs, people pick up little things. And of course, we're just taking any little thing right now to try to mean something. There's one little nugget that affected what you decided to talk about today.
Yeah, well, first I had seen some receivers getting mocked to the Buccaneers in all these mock drafts, and I think that will come and go based on what happens with Chris Godwin. But at the Combine, head coach Todd Bowles was asked what player positions he was most interested in watching their drills. And first he started out with what you'd expect, edge rushers, linebackers, cornerbacks, and then he said, and wide receivers. And I thought that was interesting.
Snuck that in there at the end.
Yeah, so I think it's a position that the Buccaneers could consider a need, maybe even in the first round. So I thought we'd look at some of the guys that I've seen mocked to the Buccaneers, a couple guys that have been falling in that range in the draft, because it's a pretty good draft for receivers, but it's still, they're kind of jockeying back and forth.
Right.
So anyway, I thought you'd be pretty excited about this choice.
I'm very excited about this first choice. My lovely Mizzou team, he always shouts out his Northwestern people, and I felt like I needed some love here.
Yeah. Well, I picked it. You didn't tell me to, but I do wonder of the outfit choice today.
I didn't, not intentional, but subliminally. I just am always supporting. That's
it's
what it is.
It's your Mizzou rah.
Yes.
Okay, so here's Luther Burden. This is a dangerous slot receiver. He's like 6'0", 206. He breaks tackles. He's great working his way through traffic. He's got good speed, as we saw at the Combine. He really helped his stock by running a 4.42 at the Combine, or no, a 4.39 at the Combine. One of the fastest receivers there, and he was perfect in that gauntlet drill. You know, the one where they have to catch a bunch of different passes in a row?
Yep.
So let's take a look at some of his plays from this past year. This poor guy is a freshman. Sorry to tell you. So he's here on the line. He's not exactly getting pressed, but he's up close on him. You'll see Burden get the good release on him. Now, he doesn't have a ton of separation here. The guy's doing a pretty decent job, but you see here, he's starting to use his hands in just the right moment. He's finding the football. He's going to locate the football, adjust to it, jump, and high point it here. All right, so here's our guy again, Luther Burden. He's here in the slot where he is all the time. Missouri did this a lot last year. They just get him the ball really quickly and let him do what he does. Now, wherever he lands in the NFL, he's probably going to get a lot wider array of assignments because he's a really talented player and you want to take care of, you want to take advantage of his big playability. But here they're just going to get him the ball real quick and let him weave his way through traffic. See, just a simple run out and stop. And then look at all these guys he makes miss.
Wow.
And then right about here, you'll see him break a tackle, get some like 10 more yards, and then kind of cut between those two guys. So great open field moves, ability to break tackles, and turns a little 6-yard pass into like a 30-yard gain. All right, here we got a third play for Luther Burden. He's right here, again, in the slot. Now, Casey, can our guy get deep?
Oh, yes.
Can he get deep and get behind the defense?
Mizzou
Let's see if he can.
The answer is yes.
Again, nice feet, at the release, and he gets a separation. And then look at this.
Woo.
Let's roll that back just a teeny little bit. Is this a one-handed catch I'm seeing? That's one hand, right? It's a little hard to tell, but I'm pretty sure he catches it. And then, of course, that guy's didn't stop the catch, but he's going to be able to get him out of bounds at the 10, right?
Seems like it.
Wrong.
Wow.
Broke that tackle, takes it in the end zone for a touchdown.
I like it.
So there's your guy, Luther Burden.
My unbiased opinion.
Okay, now I want to look at another receiver. You won't be as excited because this is an Ohio State guy. This is Emeka Egbuka of Ohio State. He's been compared to another Ohio State guy, Jackson Smith-Njigba. And think of all the great wide receivers that have come out of Ohio State in the last 5 or 6 years, like Marvin Harrison and Garrett Wilson and Chris Olave. He holds the all-time record for receptions for Ohio State. I mean, this is just a professional receiver who does everything right. He wins with timing and tempo. He's precise on his routes, and you're going to see here, he can get deep on you. See him running down the seam, and then he's going to split the two safeties here and just beat his man off the line and get separation, and perfect throw, touchdown. We're going to see another angle from this too. Kind of gives you the idea of his speed, and then you get to see a lot of up-close dancing right here with the camera, so that's nice too.
I always think that should factor in. Celebration ability.
Here's another one. Here's another thing you can do with this guy because he also works out of the slot a lot, like Luther Burden. He has played some on the outside as well, and they think he has the versatility to do both. But you can do a lot of these things like we do with Chris Godwin, where you put him in motion, he just gives him a handoff here, and then you'll see right here. I think this play was designed to go a little bit farther out, but he sees the gap and reacts really quickly, and without losing any speed, cuts up field right here, and then you just see his open field moves.
Wow.
So that's him.
That's
that's another thing you can do with him there. Okay, one more play for Emeka Egbuka here, Casey, and he's easy to find in this one. He's right here in the middle, and I like what he does on this route. He's going to end up one-on-one with this guy, and he really uses his leverage. I think he has the guy believing that this guy is believing see how he's kind of leaning this way, and it looks like he's probably trying to run around this way? That's what he's defending against, number 28 there. But then this cut back the other way, he does so fluidly and without losing speed that he creates, look at all this separation, instant separation.
Yeah, that's incredible.
So it's a real nice route, and I really like the way he set it up with that kind of inside lean. And then there you go.
Nice.
All right, I got one more player to show you today, Casey, and you might think it's maybe a wide receiver on this team, but it's actually a defensive back.
You want to take a defensive back? I'm shocked.
Yeah, so I showed you
the king of the corners is what I'm starting to call you now.
There's a reason why I picked this player and put him in amongst the receivers, and that's because in my second mock draft, which was posted late last week, this is who we ended up with, cornerback Jahdae Barron of Texas, who really had a fantastic season and then knocked it out of the park at the Combine. So this is a guy who they had asked him to play. He was a slot corner, a big nickel for them for a couple seasons. He's even played some safety. And then this year they said, we're going to kick you out to the outside and make you play on the outside. And he was great there too. He's probably seen more as a big nickel guy. His comp for a player on NFL.com is Tyke Smith.
Well, that's interesting.
We've
like been a fan of him.
Yes. So
do I get to circle since he's over on my side?
Oh yeah, you can do that.
I haven't gotten to circle yet. That's what I want to do.
That's him right there, just barely on the screen. Good job, Casey.
To do that.
That's a very tight oval you got
Thank
there.
You.
So you're going to see here, I guess, kind of just how well he reads this play. He's considered a very smart guy. In fact, he knocked his interviews out of the park, apparently, at the Combine, and that can make a difference. The interviews with the media, and then reportedly, he just came off as really knowledgeable. He's played a lot of positions, so he really knows the defense very well, knows a lot of positions. So that's good to have coming in. You'll see the quarterback here is going to fake this, and he's also faking a pass to him, who ostensibly he would be covering, but he doesn't fall for it at all, and that's important here.
He
just disappears off the screen, and then this receiver does beat the two guys that were covering him, but Jahdae Barron came all the way from his side, read the play, and made the hero play there. Yeah, nice little return.
And Todd Bowles has talked about how much he wants ball hawks. That's one of the biggest things he's looking for. So for you to pick a play that he gets an interception, that's a big deal.
Great point. You're going to see another one here in just a second. But this is a 4.39 speed. He ran 4.39 at the Combine. So this is a guy who I'd been seeing a lot in mock drafts, like in the second half of the first round, but he's rising. And at this point, I think he's challenging Will Johnson and a couple of the other guys for possibly the first cornerback off the board. Now, if that happened, he probably doesn't get to the Buccaneers. So hopefully if we're interested.
Yeah.
I mean, this is my opinion. Who knows what Jason Light and his crew think. All right, here's another play you're going to like because he manages to get another interception. He had 5 last year and 11 passes defense. That's quite good.
That's not bad.
In a college season, 5 interceptions is a lot. So here he is right here, Jahdae Barron. Let's let it roll. They run that little game where you have the 2 receivers and he cuts inside, so it creates easy separation. It's really hard for Jahdae Barron to do anything about that. But he gets there quickly, and it's good because the ball goes through his hands. Real quick reaction, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you said it. We need our defensive backs to catch the ball more often, right? Doesn't Todd Bowles say that a lot? Well, this is a really nice and instant reaction here to find that football and kind of pulling it.
Tracking on it, not just his eyes aren't just on the defender, keeping the eyes on the ball.
And then one more. Here he is right here. And I like this because, you need your corners to mirror quick breaks in routes, right? And he shows a really good ability to do that here. It's just a quick little thing, but look how quick he breaks on that. Breaks it up.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for us on another edition of Road to the Draft. We're going to keep on trucking with these every week with new updates. And of course, once free agency happens, that is definitely going to change a lot of potential things. So that's going to be exciting after that starts. So we'll see you next time on Road to the Draft.